Welcome back to my channel, The Crafty Quinn. Today I'm sharing 4 beautiful Dollar Tree DIY gifts that are perfect for Mother's Day. All of these are handmade and budget friendly, but they look so high end. And stick around because I'm also going to show you a really cool hack using one of Dollar Tree's newest Crafter Square items on shelves right now. Let's get crafting. First, we're going to take one of Dollar Tree's newest items, which is this beaded tray, and we're going to take this plaid spring napkin and we're going to do a decoupage technique. So I was a little rusty at this, I admit, so I did mess up on this, but I'm going to show you guys how I managed to recover this project because I totally thought that it wasn't going to be able to be used. And yes, that was Pumpkin, my kitten, stealing the napkin there, but I managed to get it back. She has beef with paper, I don't know why. And then my other cat, Eddie, also decided to join in on the fun. This is what it's like crafting with cats, you guys. You never know, but it's always a fun adventure. So I was just cutting down this napkin to size, and I just wanted to make sure it was going to fit perfectly around the beaded tray. And then I just wanted to cut off the excess using some scissors, but it wasn't quite getting as close as I needed it to the tray. So that is where you're going to use your X-Acto knife, and that really comes in handy and gets you a closer edge. And it doesn't matter anyway because this is going to be kind of cut down, if you will, because it's going inside of this beaded tray. It's going to fit inside. So once it was round enough, it does not have to be perfect. We're gonna start laying this inside of our tray. I used matte Mod Podge that I found at Dollar Tree, and I tried to go about the technique this way. I tried to do a small section at a time and just kind of dry it as I go. And so I just kind of fit it in there as best I could. And then unfortunately it does get very wrinkled right away, and that's what I was trying to smooth out with my hairdryer. But it's been a few years since I've decoupaged anything, so I was definitely a little rusty. So I was like, okay, these wrinkles have to come out now. And then they kind of stuck around a little bit longer than I was anticipating. But I was like, okay, let's move on to the next layer and just see how it looks. And then making sure I hit any spots I missed with more Mod Podge. And then just more hair drying. And I use this technique for the entire piece of napkin in this tray. And it's very important that you're using the just top thin layer. And then we are cutting this kind of like a pie crust. That's what it reminded me of. But we are taking our X-Acto knife again and just slicing very, very close to the beads, kind of below the beads, if you will. And I thought that this was going to pop right off, but it doesn't because I decoupaged it right to the beads. So it was not as smooth as I was anticipating. So definitely make sure you don't have a lot of the Mod Podge on your brush, and make sure it doesn't really get the sides of it. If there's a way to use a really skinny thin brush and kind of go underneath the beads instead, I think that would have worked better. And then this is where I really messed up, you guys. I don't know why I did so much Mod Podge. I don't know why I did this insane amount of Mod Podge, but then that ended up creating even more wrinkles, and that's where the big problem comes in. So I learned my lesson here, and I'm going to share you guys what I learned as well. And I was like, is there any way I can recover this? And luckily you can use water to reactivate it even after it started to dry. And so since Mod Podge is water-based, if you use a wet rag and go over it a lot, basically practically soak it again, you're kind of reactivating things, and that's what I did here. And then I was actually using my finger sander to sand off this because I was gonna start all over again. And then for some reason when I sanded it, everything looked flat again. But also probably me dampening this with the wet rag is what got rid of the wrinkles and creases. Well, they're still there, but it's a lot less. So that helped reactivate things and smooth it out. So somehow I managed to recover this, and I think it still turned out great. I used these Paper Studio flowers from Hobby Lobby, and I used these in these spots to cover up the areas that didn't look so great when I was trying to get the paper off with this. But I think it still looks great. So the whole point of this was to make this a tray, kind of for your coffee bar area. This is one way you can use it, but There's many other ways you can do this. You can put this on your coffee table as well, but I think it worked out. So on to DIY number 2. I have tons of these burlap frames and I never knew what to do with them, but I thought it would be cool to do, I don't know, kind of a farmhouse picture frame, if you will. Just kind of taking the burlap canvas, and I wanted to see if I could fit this inside the back of it to use it to stand up. But instead, we're going to take one of Dollar Tree's newest Crafter Square items. I don't know what to call these, like a peg, but it fit perfectly in the corner of each side. And then, yeah, it helps it stand up. I thought I was gonna have to make a whole stand with Jenga blocks, nothing. So you just put one on each side and then there you go, it stands up. And it doesn't take up too much space on your shelf either when you install these on the back. So next I grabbed some burlap flowers, and I thought, you know, kind of a bit of a contrast in burlap. I thought this would work well. These are actually Dollar Tree flowers that I found in their fall section, I think a year or two ago. I'm not sure if they had these this past fall, but I hope they bring these back because these are really, really cute. But if you can't find these, and if you don't have these, Hobby Lobby has ones that are very, very close to it. So I didn't have a real photo on hand that I wanted to use for this that was this perfect size and whatnot, and I didn't want to put my mom's picture on the internet without her permission, so I'm like, I'm just going to use this from a photo frame of Dollar Tree. And it actually worked out great because it's a 4x4 and you can tell that a 4x4 photo will fit. So then I took these Dollar Tree kind of Scrabble letters. And by the way, Walmart sells a whole bag of these Scrabble letters. So Walmart, Amazon, there's other places you can get these Scrabble letters. I just happen to have them left over from when these were a huge hit at Dollar Tree. So I had these in my crafting stash, couldn't wait to use these for different projects, and now I'm glad I did. I had just a little bit of excess space in that area, and I thought, you know what, this is actually the perfect place to put these letters together and spell out Mom. So I just did a little bit of hot glue on the back and we are good to go. This craft is all done. One alternative way you can do this is to take one of these clips instead, and I got this from Hobby Lobby, but instead of this push pin here, you can just glue this part here to the top, right where the backing is behind it. But if you glue it there and then you just squeeze it, it will still open. But yeah, I would bring it down to about here and go like that. But that is one other option if you don't want to use push pin, because the downside of using push pin is you just gotta be careful if that's sticking in the back. But if you know that that's there, then you know it's not a problem. But this is one alternative method. And again, I got these from Hobby Lobby. They came in a huge pack. I'm not sure which aisle I'm trying to remember, but I got these on set. So that's one other thing you can do. As Pumpkin plays with her toy, very lovely in the background. Next, when I was done with my Scrabble letters, I put them all back in this plastic container that I found on Amazon. And this is the final result, you guys. I hope you like it. It's such an easy craft, but it came out beautiful in my opinion. We are halfway through this video, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder. Please subscribe if you haven't. Give this video a thumbs up. If you engage with this video, my video does better on YouTube overall, so thank you in advance for watching and liking this video. Next, on to DIY number 3. I'm sure you guys are seeing this at your local Dollar Trees too, but they bring out signs like this every year. I feel like for Mother's Day, they have all kinds of Mother's Day items in stores right now at Dollar Tree. I just went this past weekend and they had gift bags, they had this sign and other things like it. So I wanted to use one of these for sure. So I was trying to just use my hairdryer / heat gun to lift off this middle section here because I'm going to replace it with something really fun. And this, I'm using a knockoff Cricut tool, so I'm kind of beating up on this tool a lot this video, but it's a knockoff one, so this is kind of my go-to when I'm trying to get stuff like this off of signs. But I'm trying to use my hairdryer to heat up this middle heart section, and like I said, I'm going to replace it with something else, but basically it was a process of just, you know, you keep heating it up and then seeing if it'll budge a little bit more using that metal scraper tool and kind of dig in behind the heart. So this was definitely a process. I will say this is probably the most difficult part of this entire project. So you just have to be patient, and it's going to take a little time, but once you get all of that off, then I just went in with my finger sander and I just decided to sand down the entire thing. I was only going to sand down the heart, but I mean, you get the other parts of this sign as well, so you might as well just sand down the whole thing. And I thought this was also going to give me a pretty cool look when I go to paint over this. I'm not sure if it ended up having any sort of effect whatsoever, but it kind of smoothed out the paint because it was very spotty and weird in some parts. So I just wanted to even things out a bit before I did a layer of paint. And then I did a wet paper towel over this just to wipe off the dust before I go to paint this. So I took a chippy brush for this. I wanted to give it a distressed farmhouse look. Wanted to also have some of the pink showing through the white. So I didn't coat this completely. I tried to do a more distressed look. How well I did, I'm not sure, but distress was what I was going for. So I tried to just do it lightly. I guess I had too much paint on my brush, but yeah, if I had wiped some of the excess paint off of my brush onto a paper towel beforehand, maybe it would have, you know, had the pink come through a little bit more, but that's totally fine. It's all to your preference. So because I used so much paint, it definitely got in the cracks of each letter, so I had to go through and make sure I didn't leave any weird globs of paint in there. So I did do the tops, the top and the sides of this as well. And then once that's dry, we are moving on and we are going to take this chalk heart. I normally find these in the Dollar Tree Crafter Square section. I mean, I think some stores still have them, but I want to say you might be able to find them for Valentine's Day again. But I feel like this is a regular Dollar Tree Crafter Square item. And then I just took a wood bead to cover up the little ornament hole at the top. And this is all done. Super, super easy. And I thought you could also write fun messages on that heart in the middle as well. For this next craft, we are taking a just square shaped Dollar Tree glass vase. I think it's a vase, or it's also can be used for candles, but I just tried to get the sticker off of this and it didn't really come off for me. So I just kind of gave up on it. And I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna paint over it and no one's even gonna see it. So it doesn't matter. But I took a layer of Waverly white chalk paint. I forgot to mention, I did use this same chalk paint in the craft before this one. So I used Waverly white chalk paint and that is the color. So for this, I did do 2 layers of paint. And so I just waited for it to dry and then I just went back over it because one layer, no matter how much paint you use, one layer is just not enough because you still kind of get those lines that come through. And you know, it takes a little bit of time for this to cover the glass. So I thought it was easiest to just kind of hold it with my hand and then just kind of paint over it that way, which it worked. That's one technique. And then once I set it down, I just painted the top edges and just waited for it to dry. And then I did do the bottom as well. I mean, I'm not sure if it even really would have mattered, but you probably would have been able to see the glass a little bit. But moving on to these clear stamps. I found these at Dollar Tree, I'm not sure how long ago, but these are all Dollar Tree items. These are Dollar Tree clear stamps. And I have never used these before, so this is brand new. Obviously, I just took it out of the package, but I noticed that they were all very like stuck, I guess, in like layers, which was kind of great though, because that way you don't lose any of the letters. You do have to cut out each one individually, so that's a bit of a pain, but it's not a big deal. So that is a Dollar Tree ink pad as well. So I found these at the same time. I'm not sure if they're bringing these back or if this is an item that's going to continue, but I thought it was pretty cool and convenient. And I know Hobby Lobby sells these as well, but they're a lot more expensive. So this is Dollar Tree floral foam that I'm using. I was trying to find the best way to do this. You can take a knife to do this. I started off trying to use an X-Acto knife, but as you'll see in a second, it doesn't quite work out well for me. I don't know why, I just don't have luck with the blades sticking in X-Acto knives. And I feel like I keep it tight and everything, and it still happens. But I think it depends on the material you're cutting with. So once I cut it down enough to size, I just shoved it in there. I did not glue it down. I figure, you know, I can reuse this in the future if I want, but then I just kind of use this Cricut tool, knockoff Cricut tool like a knife, and just cut off the excess at the top. So I found these pink, I don't know, pink stained, if you will, eucalyptus at Dollar Tree this weekend. I thought these were cool. And I think they're one of their older items that were still left on shelves, but I don't know, this one Dollar Tree that I go to in Purcellville, Virginia has a lot of old stuff still on shelves, so I feel like I'm finding some great items. And we got this, what is it? We got this like scent thing with like the sticks, I forget what it's called, with the essential oil in it, and it rang up as 1 cent. So that was pretty cool. So this was great because it just bends and they just come right off. Or if it's not coming off, you might have to cut a little bit, but I just wanted the pink tops that were stained pink on this eucalyptus for a fun little floral project. This is reindeer moss that I had from Dollar Tree already. I think you can find this at Michael's as well. I love this because this isn't it's kind of like a softer dewy material and it doesn't hurt my fingers. So I just kind of glued it down and then just laid it on top. And it's so funny when you hot glue that foam, you can hear it crackling, and I felt like it did burn my finger a little bit, so I would use finger protectors. So now this is what we're going to be using the stamps for. We are going to spell out mom on the side of this. And so I just kind of put another letter there as a placeholder just to make sure everything would fit. I wasn't quite sure how to put the ink on these, but luckily they leave that piece at the top there. And I feel like if you kind of put it on the side of the ink pad, it kind of leaves the top part more clean. So I guess because these are silicone, they do kind of shift a little bit underneath your finger when you lay them down. So I felt like I couldn't get a perfect, I don't know. I tried my best, but I do feel like it was moving in my hand when I went to press down on the letter. But, I mean, it still came out clearly saying mom for the most part, so I think it works. So any little spots left over from the ink, I just covered up with white chalk paint. I decided I wanted to add some trim to the top, so I just took this piece of burlap trim from Dollar Tree for the finishing touch. And I love it. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys have an amazing Mother's Day. And if you want to check out more videos of mine, check them out here on the left. And let's keep in touch on social media and thecraftyquinn.com. Thanks guys, bye.